Hey everybody, it's the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another Redstone tutorial. This time what I got for you is the chest haul, the new chest haul for my binary sorter. So, I did a showcase on this, so it shows all the information. We're just going to be dealing with what's in here pretty much. None of the brains or anything. So, what do you say, guys? Let's get to building this thing. Alright guys, I'm back. I've got the stuff needed to build the first part, but before we do that, let's talk a little bit about rail placement and how you need to do it. First thing is, I recommend getting yourself a locator map, or well, if you're good, you can actually do it the way I do it, but yeah, so with the locator map, as you can see, right now we're facing north, so that's that's understanding. So let's get rid of that. Now we have the north-south. Now, if I was to break this and place it here, you notice how it snaps there? To prevent that, we just add an extra one, every other one, and then we could just take out the extras, just like that. Now the east-west is just place them down and let them run. So even if I clear these out, these will always snap east-west. So that's very crucial. So, know which direction you are placing at. Alright. So, now, when you first build this, we're going to have certain dimensions for the chest hall. Length is as long as you want it. How many different sets of chests do you need? But the area that the chest hall takes up itself is a 23 by 21 block range. Now your floor level sits 6 blocks above the very bottom row. So wherever you want your chest hall is, dig down at least 6 blocks for your chest hall. So, with that stated, what we're going to need for this first part is we're going to need a bunch of chests. You're going to need a total of 16 chests per slice. We're going to need a bunch of observers, a bunch of comparators, a bunch of repeaters, some packed dice. I recommend some sort of light source. I'm using jack-o'-lanterns because they can be powered, and that's the sole reason. Some hoppers, some droppers, activator rails, powered rails, redstone torches, solid blocks. Then you need a bunch of decorative blocks. So I'm using carpet, sea lanterns, and fully oxidized copper blocks. Some of them have to be solid, and then stairs is just for appearance. Some blocks that aren't full blocks that you can place over a hopper. Do not place chests or anything with a inventory in it above the hopper. It will not work. And something to block water off. I'm using slabs for this. So the first thing is let me get the solid blocks. Okay, first thing is we'll go down to the very bottom, place it down, and we'll just make a line as big as you want. So however big you want, it doesn't matter. And then we will place another set along the same, going up in a corner, and we're going to make this a little V. Just like that. Now I made this one this long just so that you guys can understand how to place the rails. Okay. Now we're going to alternate between a powered rail. We can actually just set our set a rail down every other one, and activator rails. And because I am facing north-south, I know I'm going to need to add an extra one here. Now if you have a powered rail here, you want to place a activator rail, and if you have an activator rail, you want a powered rail. So just go down the line and place them like this just to get them. And yes, you can actually have these connected on this one. It's just, for me personally, it looks better this way. Then we can just take out this last one. Okay. So from here, we're going to take our observers. I'm only going to do one slice because all the slices are the same. This was just done to show you guys how to set the rails up to keep them looking like this. But if you have to, you can have it look like this, and it's not going to change the effect. So what we're going to do is, off of this rail, we're going to place 2 observers. We'll go 1 down and 1 across. So we have a loop here. And then on this rail here, we're going to place 2 observers. And this side is done the exact same way. 2 observers facing out, 1 going down, 1 going back. Now that right there is set up. So if I build this exactly the same, and this is just to show you guys again that it's not as important to have them like this. You can have them like that. I just prefer the way it looks. Now we need to place solid blocks here. This one and the jack-o'-lanterns here are designed strictly to cut down on redstone light lag. So it's going to cause less lag. Place jack-o'-lanterns here. Get yourself your hoppers, because hoppers work the best for this because they are silent. And you can take an observer and pull a signal out of them getting powered. Then we're going to place a solid block here and here. Get your comparators. Place them here and here. Then your droppers, and place them going up too high. So again, solid blocks here. You can place your droppers here. And yes, this is completely buildable in survival. And I've done it because I'm nuts. So now what we can do is take our decorative block, place them here, because this, you can see this block, so whatever block you want can go here. Now I'm going to grab my sea lanterns and I'm just going to throw them on top of here. This is just to add some light, and because of the coloration, I'm using green carpet here. And then get your stairs, or you don't even have to use stairs, just something to cover up the redstone to keep it looking nice. Now what we got here, these are in the wrong direction. What we got here is actually a item clock. So if we take our chests, I'm just going to take a single chest right now and place it right on top of the dropper. If I take and let me grab a stack of items, and I throw it in here, I open this chest, we will actually end up with 64 items in the chest. It's a constant clock that will be putting items in, and it's at a consistent rate, which actually is nice, because then we're not so that the system, no items will ever stay in there. So if I pull out, oh, we're almost done. So let's let this finish up. And I threw a stack in, we got a stack out. Perfect. Now we're going to take our hoppers again, and we're going to place them here on the bottom. We'll grab our block that is not full. So you can use honey blocks, you could use well, I'm using iron bars. You can use iron bars. Anything that that is not a full block. Pretty much I want to stand on this hopper but not touch that dropper. Unless I go like that. But with warning with honey, you do have a limit before it stops. You could put top slabs here if you want, stairs, anything that will pretty much allow items to slide just on the edge of here. Alright, now we'll grab our packed ice. We'll place it here. And whatever block you want here. And on the first one, our water stopper goes here. And then we will place our water. I'm just going to block this off just because I don't want water flowing down to the bottom. We'll place water here. And then we'll take and put our chest here. There. And we do the exact same thing on this side as we did here. So let me get a little bit of this cleaned up, making it where we are able to, or I'm working with one slice and get a little bit of these extra blocks out of the way. And we'll be back for the next part. Guys, now we're going to be doing with the control circuitry, so to speak, on determining whether how full the box is. So what we need, what we need is a non-solid block, some redstone blocks. You don't have to use the redstone blocks. You can use a block with a redstone. You could anything that will pretty much allow you to power level 15 a comparator. Bunch of comparators, some redstone repeaters, some solid blocks to build with, some pistons, cauldron. I recommend cauldrons, but you could also use composters with a fill level of 1. Just cauldrons are easier, just with one water bottle. Any container that can be moved that can have a fill level of 1. Some redstone dust and some target blocks. Alright, so what we got to do here is come over to this side here. We will place a block here and place another one. We'll place a repeater there and a comparator there. We're going to lock this hopper here. So then from here we need a target block right there. Take a piston going up, a solid block at the corner of that, and whatever block you want here. It doesn't matter because we're going to throw a piece of dust here, throw a comparator here. Now the reason why we're using a dust here with the comparator is because if I go like this, I can control what level this is at. And if I only have a fill level of 1 in here, single bucket, the dust will not go past that. So let me demonstrate this real fast. Let me grab a let me grab an immovable block. Let me get that over here, and water bottle. Bam. Single water bottle. If I take and place this here and throw a piston here, nothing. This is the only one that's being active. And that's the sole purpose. Bing. And then you can break it, and there we go. Now that's the locking mechanism for this hopper. Now what we're going to do is make a going from above the repeater 5 blocks out. This is the maximum you will really ever build. Nothing is going to go on side of this. And we'll throw a solid block on top of here. We'll grab 2 comparators. 1, 2. Add 1 here. And 1 going towards the front. Towards where the brain will be. And you do this all the way down towards the back. And when you get to the back, power the line of subtracted repeaters. Now what happens here is when this has items in it based around its fill level, it will take away from this comparator, which then will eventually tell the system, hey, no, we got two, yeah, it's time to start sending in shulker boxes, or no, we're full, send it to bulk, type thing. So, yeah, that's how that part works. So next is we're going to place a a transparent block here, because I don't want anything. If this slice is not active, I do not want anything going through it. Then we're going to throw in four blocks, all solid blocks. We'll throw one here, here, and here. Subtract mode. And we'll add a little more here as we need them. And we'll add a solid block, and then obviously at the end, we're going to place a redstone block. Again, we're going to add four more of these. Comparator, subtract. And a solid there. We'll place using glass there. We'll place a solid block. And then we'll place a solid block on top of that, and then we'll do this to this side over here, so that we now have the bottom three chests ready to go. I know, for this one, we'll place a solid block here, leave it. We'll place a solid block here, solid block out here, and throw a comparator on it. Right there. Just like that. That will... Oh no, that, let me... I'll be a bit, yeah, we'll leave those alone right there. So, next is, like, we take this and build it over here so that it looks identical. Now, we'll get on to the next part, which is adding in the first set of chests over here, and part of the brain circuitry to control the flow. So I will be right back. Alright guys, so this might be the easiest one that we're going to do. Is first off, we need to decide either decide how we're going to make our insides look. I'm just going to throw a stair there. This will allow me to put an item frame on it, signifying that this is for up there. You can put a sign with labels. Labeling is all up to you, but this needs to be a block that allows you to open up a chest. We'll throw a chest on top of that and add another one. Throw a solid block on top of that, right next to it. So now when this has items in it, this slice will, when this slice is active, this chest will read, this chest will read. Now we need to get this chest. So we need to do is place a hopper there, put a solid block there, throw a comparator there, a solid block behind the comparator, and a double chest next to that, with a hopper going in on the first one with a openable block on top of that. And then now we need to actually add another thing, so we'll throw a comparator there and a comparator to there, and this one on subtract mode. Now for the purpose of this, I recommend placing like an aesthetic block there to prevent, actually no, it needs to go up there, right there, and then you could have it however you want looking. I like the look of that. Yeah, I just think it looks nice. And we'll set it there. And we'll throw a temporary block there. Double chest. Break that. We will do something special with that right there. And I'll explain what we're going to do here also. And then we will, and now we have our, is that right? Let me take, no, that's not right. Oh, duh. Okay, well actually we need to put a hopper there. Oh, yeah, the hopper goes there, but we don't need the solid block there, so we'll throw that there. with the glass, with some type of block there, comparator there, and honestly, this is a brain circuit, so we'll place this, so we'll power that. And there's that. It's there for aesthetics. And there we go. And now I'll be back and we'll start working on the water streams for all of these. And I'll and actually we need to throw a hopper right there. Now I'll get this other side completely built so that we can see the layout of it, and you'll see why it's done that. So I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and now we're actually going to get into far more redstone for this build. This is the biggest part of the redstone, the water stream circuitry. So now it takes quite a bit for this. No, we don't need that right now. Solid blocks. These are not exactly necessary per se. Glass isn't exactly necessary. Water is. And some type of block to block the water. Signs work. Fences. Anything that will just prevent the water from flowing, that underneath it, if a block is removed, will not break. So no scaffolding for this part. You can use it on the bottom one, but not for here. Redstone torches, pistons, sticky pistons, repeaters, signs or buttons. Some of them, one place it is very required that you either use a sign or a button. Only reason why is because they are not a solid. Items will pass right through them. Some solid blocks, some immovable blocks. Not exactly necessary, but better for the ears. Some packed ice, trapdoors, and some redstone blocks. Alright, so now we've got all this set up. So the first thing is, I recommend getting a solid block here, throwing it down, and getting your packed ice, throwing it right here. Now, the one thing that I did forget to do, and I will say this right now, is we're just going to encase this, and because we're encasing it, we do need to add water. Now, if you put the water in one spot, we can't put water anywhere else except for here, but we need this to be full. So before you place all these comparators, fill this in with water. That was my mistake. Now we're going to take a redstone block and place it on top of here. We'll grab our sticky piston, place it there. Any block you want here, doesn't matter. And a torch on top of that piston. Now we're going to encase this with water. We'll grab our trapdoor, and we're going to place it from the back and open it up. And then I will always add an extra one just for my sanity. And yeah, we can extend these out. And again, now we're going to place it for our water. So water will go here, flow out all the way there. Water will come in here with the item, so this will end up being blocked off with your water streams. This is for redstone purposes. This is why this one has to be a solid block. It doesn't matter about the rest. Next is we will take our piston, our regular piston, put one facing up around that torch, and one facing down here. Grab our movable block and place it on there. The reason why is we don't want to hear, we got enough pistons firing. Too many will just drive everybody crazy. And it also helps with a little bit of the lag. We'll place a torch on top of there. We will grab a sticky piston, place it there. A piece of packed ice on top of that. We will encase that. Again, we'll take our trapdoor, come from the back, and place them there. We'll add those there. Place it there. Water stream. When the water ends, make sure you place another one and more water. And you always want to make sure you go past the system. If the water will end up like right here, you want to make sure you put an extra one there just to add a little extra bonus. And then with any items that bypass the system, just send it back to a loader. Okay, so next is we're going to take our solid blocks. We're going to put a solid block on top of that, a torch, a solid block, a torch, a sticky piston there, a ice block there, and this is where you grab your sign or whatever. Now this is a special sign. It has no data. Literally, it's a special sign. And we'll throw it there. We'll grab our sticky piston. Another one, place it there with a solid block. And we'll throw it right there. Now what happens is this piston is just the control circuitry for this chest saying, hey, I've got items in here. And we need to access it. And we need to be able to register it, so we'll throw a repeater there. And we will throw a, just temporary, I'm going to place it there so that I can get a piston right next to it. And I will throw a block, doesn't matter what it is. Actually, no, we'll throw a sticky piston next to the ice and a solid block there. No, this will have right there, and if I throw one there, bam. And we'll do the exact same thing on that side. And we will encase this, slab that, and there we go. That is actually 1/2 of the circuitry to be able to control this whole slice. It's a lot easier than my previous one, but it's still pretty complex. So now I'll be right back after I get a few extra things so that we'll be able to finish building this. And I'm going to finish building that side first before I do. So I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. And I did forget to mention one thing. And this is just more of a loss reduction. Take any block you want and just throw it on this first line here. Any block you want. Solid block, glass, whatever. Something that items won't be able to pass through. That just helps cut down on the item loss reduction. It just helps with the item loss. So, now this last part is, I don't need you. Very simple. We need solid blocks. We need some type of container that can have a power signal strength of 1. So I'm using cauldron and water bottles. We need pistons, redstone dust. If you're doing it, redstone dust, comparators, and I'll show you guys how you can use a repeater for this and where you're able to use a redstone block or any other thing. But I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. So first thing is we're going to throw a piston there. And on top of this torch, we'll throw another piston. We'll grab our cauldron, throw the cauldron on there, and we'll throw the water, or one thing of water, in there. Next is we'll throw a solid block here, and we'll throw one up there, and we'll throw a comparator with a piece of dust here. Now, if I activate, let me grab this redstone block. If I activate this, you notice all of the spots where the water is, where the all the pistons are retracted. And when I remove it, they all snap back in. Now, And it's done exactly the same thing on that side. So now I'm going to place a solid block there. I'm going to throw a comparator. Any block you want. In fact, you don't even have to. In fact, actually, this part, if you really just want to save a little resources, dust it with a solid block like that. Any block you want, doesn't matter. Cauldron, fill it to one level. If you're doing this setup, if you're going to use a repeater like this, whatever you want there. In fact, that doesn't even have to be a could be a repeater, doesn't even have to be a comparator. But you just have to make sure that this right here only powers a single line. Now, if you're not building this underground and building this in the open, and you're using water, just like this, just put a solid block over on these, because when it rains, it's going to fill these up unless you're in a desert, or in the savannah, or the Badlands biome. Yeah, so then we got that. And just so now, then we'll grab another piston. Now this is your input piston. This piston, you can put it there, you can put it whatever, just got to remember 12 blocks. So now if let's just build it again. Alright, cauldron. Yeah, so I'm just going to build it real fast. Dust. Solid block. Dust. Solid block. Comparator. Now this is just to show you guys how fast this thing activates. Now I'm way over here so that we can watch it. In fact, actually, let's make it a little bit of a delay for a 12, 16, 20 redstone ticks. Yep, 20 redstone ticks, so that's about 2 seconds of a delay. Bam. And boom. It was that fast. And the closing, just as fast. So we have a 2 second set of delay for this thing. And it is closing it's closing within a few moments of processing, which is actually a lot faster than the previous one. Now, what can you do here? Well, whatever you want. This is this is part of the inside build. So, you know what? I'm going crazy. Where is it? I just had this idea. Moss? Spore blossom? Ooh. Nice. Yeah. Yep. Whatever you want for the interior. Yeah, so yeah, we've got that is the entire build. Each slice is activated individually, so it will process individually, and as the items come in and drop, they get registered through their slices. If I had another one, this next slice wouldn't register anything and wouldn't be able to accept anything. But it's so nice watching it shut, open and close, activate and deactivate. But yeah, yeah. Well, the whole When it comes down to the decoration, the way the aesthetics on the inside looks, it is strictly up to you. Make it look as fairy-like, demonic, wizardry, like I would do. Keep it semi-dark. Yes, dark. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just a little crazy though. But yeah, any style inside that you want, make it look any way you want. Use it however you want. Remember, this is a game about being creative. Even when you've used someone else's style, someone else's builds, do whatever you feel right with it. No. But yeah. Well, you guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you have any questions, comments, leave it down in the comments section. If it's a major issue, I recommend you join my Discord. Link to that will be in the description. If you want to support me, subscribe and join my Patreon. Link to that will be in the description. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.